Good evening and a warm welcome. A warm welcome to join me on a live podcast, Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I know that a lot of you are new to CPS or regulars with CPS, but it's a really tough situation that you've gotten yourself into. And what I call CPS is the Child Protection System. It's found in every state and every county. It's also found worldwide. I have over 23 countries I've talked to, including the United States, and all 50 states in the United States, including the District of Columbia, which is not a state, but they've called in too. These countries are from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India to the Middle East to Saudi Arabia and Libya. Then it's over to the continent of Africa, and we got Liberia, and then we got Sudan, and then the Republic of Congo, and then Rwanda, the Mozambique, and then down to South Africa. Then over to Europe, we have England, Scotland, Wales, and Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond in North America, we have Canada, the United States, Mexico, and then in South America, above Brazil, we got Grenada. Then across the Pacific, we got New Zealand, and then the land down under, Australia. So that's a lot of people I've talked to. It's over 1,700 plus people I've talked to. They all had something in common. They're all low income. There's nothing wrong with being low income. And some of you are at the poverty. I know how hard it is. And one of the things that CPS is supposed to provide you is food and shelter and clothing and transportation and education and medical and even give you a job. Now, this agency was started in 1962 by an act of Congress, which told social services to create a group of social workers that would protect their children from neglect and abuse. So a lot of the names were formed. The Department of Children and Family Services, the that's three, right? Department of Family Services, Child Protection Services, the Department of Children's Services, the Cabinet. It goes on and on and on. There's thousands of names. So I make it real simple. We call it CPS, the Child Protection System. It's found in every state and every county. Now, protecting the children in the United States has gone through what they call three phases in history. It's been going on for 400 years. It started in the colonial days in the 1600s. There was a case reported about a shop abusing a child working in the shop. And it goes from 1600 to 1875. And then from 1875 to 1962. And lastly, from 62 to the present. And 1875 is a pivotal point for a lot of things. One, it was a society that was trying to protect their children. A society in New York thought the children that were running loose and not taken care of needed to have protection. So these rich societies would give money and help out as best as they can. Also, that was the turning point in the first immigrants to North America, the Native American Indians. They were being rounded up and put on reservations. They're being slaughtered. Their culture was suppressed because the Europeans felt that they were a more higher being, a higher culture, because they ate with forks or because they had weaponry of cannons and guns and so forth. I still to this day, I don't like what happened. But anyway, they put them on reservations. Those reservations became federal land, and the land was run by the Indian tribe. They could tell who came on it, who didn't come on it, and so forth. But that didn't stop people rounding up children and putting them into private schools where their hair was cut, they were stripped of their heritage, told not to wear the clothing of their heritage, not to eat the food, not to speak the language. And they were abused. They were severely abused. And they never returned to their families. So they would grow up and never knew their family. They would die and never see their family again. And that went on from 1875 to 1978, when they had the passage of the ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act, which mandated that Child Protection Services, or the CPS system, should first make sure the children were not registered in an Indian tribe, meaning that they're a member of an Indian tribe. If they're Indian children, they need to be turned over to the tribe. They need to be turned over to the tribe. And they would take care of their own. They would put the children with the American Indian family, and they would do family reunification. So there were many laws passed. I know in 1974, that's when the laws of CPS were enforceable. That means they made laws. You know, in 62, they talked about it, and doctors were reporting child abuse and neglect. But it wasn't until 74 when they had to meet with the laws. Then in 97, they decided that family reunification was too long, and they rewarded child protection systems $35,000 if they have a child adopted through the foster care. That was a carrot hanging on the head. That's why family reunification was stopped. Now, there's been other laws that have passed and so forth. The most recent one was in January. And it was so quiet. President Biden signed a law that did help more with the Native American Indians, but it also added kinship was part of the family. And they also said that just being poor doesn't mean, or being poverty doesn't mean you're neglecting your children. For a long time, CPS put the fear in parents. If you're homeless or you're poverty, you don't have the means to take care of your family, then you're a bad parent. You're neglecting your family. Now, there's many reasons why a lot of you become homeless or poor, whatever. Some of you were living very low-income lifestyles to begin with. And so when a natural disaster happened, like a fire out in the Los Angeles area, or the hurricane wind storms that ran through, Tennessee and North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, all from the Gulf. And homes were washed down the rivers, and homes were burned to the ground. And a lot of people didn't have insurance. That's one thing I should have thought about, is having legal insurance. I, too, am a victim of CPS. Now, I've told some people to call in. Hopefully you're listening, and I'd love to have you on my show. One of the things you can do here is this is an interactive live stream, meaning that if you want to text a message, make it in the form of a comment or a question, and it should pertain to CPS. We're here to talk about the child protection system. Please state your first name, your city or county, the state, and if you're outside of the United States, put your country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you're at. That's only the first time. Once you've told your case, I'll try to remember where you're at and so forth. We have a lot of regulars that come in here. They call this the family. They call me Uncle Bob. Because I do try to help. Last night, we had a tremendous problem with a child that's misdiagnosed, and the parents had to go through all kinds of problems. Now they're being accused by CPS of neglecting their children, not taking care of the medical needs, which is far from it. Their child was thought to have appendicitis, so they removed the appendixes. They didn't do all the complete tests. The child still hurt. They had gallstones in the ducts. An X-ray later showed the gallstones. So that surgery is really, the parents were seeking additional medical advice too, by the way. Anyway, it's a hard road for them to fight. They're from Santa Clarita, California, and God bless them. They have a court tomorrow, Wednesday, and hopefully something will come of that court. Hopefully something will come of it. All they have to do is get the medical reports and show the court that they did seek help. They did bring the child to the ER. They first took him to the pediatrician, and he told him he needs to go to the ER. And they took him to an ER, the closest one there. And then they performed the surgery, and they went to another ER. So their child at 4 years had to go through surgery and anesthesiology, and it was terrible. It was terrible how the social worker interfered and scolded the parents and said they're at fault. We're not doctors, and CPS is not a doctor themselves. They try to profess they are. So anyway, I love to hear your story, or if you have a question, please text in. Also, if you want to be on my show as a guest, I can take 9 of you. Now I'm on Monday through Friday for 10 a.m. on the weekends at 8 a.m. And then I'm on in the evening every night of the week, every day of the night, the week at 7 p.m. That's 7 days a week. Now, those times are all West Coast California time, Pacific Daylight Standing Time. And you would just write my show producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com with the day and the time. I want to be Bob's Friday night show, or Bob's Sunday morning show, or Bob's Tuesday morning show, or his Monday night show. You just pick the day and the time, and it's there. And then she'll send you a link. The link will take you to StreamYard, which is our application we use on Facebook. We can do a lot with StreamYard. And you'll be on Facebook, and you'll be able to tell your story to the world and help one another. She'll give you the rules, like no smoking or eating on the show, no using names of judges or social workers or children, and no cussing on the show. Now, another way, or a third way to interact with the podcast is to call in. My phone is up right now. It's 626-698-0990. 626-698-0990. And that is the number of my show. And I love to have you on it. I love to have you call me, because when you call or you're a guest, I will give you a free 15-minute private consultation with Mr. Davis. He's a real attorney. He's the one that is sponsoring this live stream. His picture is up right above my head. If you're facing the screen, it says Vincent W. Davis. Now, he's been practicing fighting CPS for 39 years. He's gotten back thousands of children. He also is a trial attorney, and he's done this now for 39 years. He once was in foster child himself growing up, so he knows about the foster care system. And if you want to hire him, call him right now, 888-888-6582. You'll reach reception. Make sure you tell reception Bob Pace sent you. And when you talk to Mr. Davis, make sure you tell him that Bob Pace sent you. Now, there's other ways that you can have more time with Vincent Davis besides the 15 minutes. For instance, if you want to talk to Vincent Davis for 30 minutes on Zoom conference call, all you have to is go to the website. That's candidly.com/apps, VWD/Bob Pace. You pay your $60, you pick the time, and there you go. You get 30 minutes of time. That's twice as much time as doing it for free. And hopefully that will help you. So write down that website. Now, Mr. Davis is home website is vincentwdavis.com, vincentwdavis.com. There you can find all kinds of information from him. Now, he has a resource website that is great. He has a new book out called Get the Grandparents Guide and other resources. You're going to go to the stand.store/attorney VWD. The Grandparents Guide is how to adopt their grandchildren. It's a step-by-step guide. It says Grandparents Guide for California, but I'll work in other states, and it's also good for parents to read about it. And that's something Mr. Davis put together. Also, while you're at that stand store, there's other kinds of deals on there, like 4 hours for $1,900 for some coaching. There's all kinds of plans and things that he's available for. If you're in LA County, his retainer is $5,000, approximately $5,000. He's a $500 an hour attorney. But he's really good at what he does. He got back my children. I, too, have been a victim a long time with CPS. I've been fighting them for 15 years. 5 years before they stole my children, and during those 5 years, there's false allegations from my in-laws who would call in and say we weren't feeding the children, weren't doing this with the children, etc., 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 etc. Now, I'm a very dedicated, loving father. I've had 42 years of marriage experience, and I have helped raise 6 children. 3 of them are grown up and have wonderful families. The other 3, 2 of them are still live with me. They're my young teenagers. And then I have 1 child that, because the social worker lied and the attorney made her look so bad, Attorney Vincent did, and we had a perfect case for a lawsuit, she retaliated. She said, you're never going to see your daughter again. And when she told her daughter, you're 12 now, you can divorce your parents. Did you know that? Her CASA said the same thing. Her CASA, the court appointed. You guys got to stop talking to ombudsperson, CASA people, or even social workers. They're not your friend. The CASA people and ombudsperson are big ears. They'll spill everything to the social workers. I still understand why my one CASA is still seeing my son, who's 25 years old. There's something troubling me about that woman. I don't know what it is. But the ideas that my kids got and the problems they got all came from social workers and came from CASA and foster care. They were abused in foster care. Foster care to me was a joke. My whole case was a joke. It was serious. They took my family that was not in danger and stole them, put them in CPS's hands. It's hard when you got a government that will pay $35,000 per child that's adopted by foster care. They get no money if they are family reunified. The money stops if they're family reunified. As long as the children in their capacity, they're getting money right now. They're getting at least $20,000 per child right now per month. And special needs, they tack another $10,000. So it's really, really hard. I know what you guys are going through. Now, hopefully we have some people in the room, some people I told to call me tonight. We have Shelly. Oh, hello, everyone. Shelly, how are you? And Shelly, I have no idea if you're new or old timer or whatever it is, but where are you from, Shelly? Where are you from? And could you share your case or tell me about your case or tell me a story about CPS? Because I want to help you. I definitely want to help you. You're from Toledo, Ohio. Well, welcome, Toledo, Ohio. I've been, I think I played there once in football. Anyway. You want to share your story, Shelly, or you have a question? Now, I'm going to put back my phone number so you guys could call in. Now, remember, if you call in, you get a free 15-minute private Zoom call with Vincent Davis. That's what you really need. That's what you really want. Now, this show is interactive. That means all of you can come up with something. If you want me to talk about a topic or ask me a question to answer or something there, I'd love to help you. I'd love to help you. Good evening and welcome to my live stream. This is Bob Pace. Do you have a story to tell me or a question you ask me?
Calling in. I want to share my story.
Oh, okay. And again, your name is what again?
Shelly,
Oh, you're already on the screen. You're from Ohio. Well, at least I know two things about you. I know your name, and I know where you're from. And what is the story you want to tell?
okay. I had, well, I had, what you call it, like, it wasn't legal, but my uncle's ex-girlfriend, she had a baby.
Okay.
And
So it's one of the kinship, one of the family members.
yes, yeah,
Now, was this
yeah.
uncle your brother?
No, this is my uncle's girlfriend. His
Okay,
girlfriend,
your uncle's girlfriend. So it'd be one of your dad's brothers, right?
my sister's brother.
Okay. It's your
My
sister
mother's
brother
brother.
who had a
My,
girlfriend and they had a baby, right?
hold on, it's my mother's brother. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. All
I'm
right.
nervous.
So your mother had a brother who got involved in CPS. Now, did your mother
No,
ever get involved in CPS?
no.
Okay. Did you ever get involved in CPS yourself?
Yeah, I had to deal with CPS
Oh,
only
God.
because,
That was terrible.
but yeah, my uncle's girlfriend, they broke up and she had a drug problem. She was prostituting and whatnot. And she ended up getting pregnant and she had a baby and she managed to get clean, before she had the baby. So they didn't detect any drugs in her system. So
Now,
yes,
was the
yes,
baby,
yes.
who is the father of the child?
The father of the child was a
I'm sorry, what?
he was a customer, a
Okay,
John.
so she got pregnant because she needed the money to buy drugs, and so she prostituted herself. So this father, got her pregnant. Now, is that father still involved in the picture, or is he gone?
He's still in the picture. He was well, he's a man in his 60s. He's a retired truck driver. And he also smoked crack too.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So I guess they managed to touch or whatever. She got pregnant by him. She had a baby. She kept up with the baby for like 3 months, and then
Was he supporting
uh,
the girlfriend? Was he supporting the girlfriend?
no,
Oh, what do you mean he was with her? He just was with her to do what?
the man she got pregnant by,
Yeah. What was he doing?
she was a prostitute, and he was someone that she picked up, and she just so happened to
No, I
be
mean,
pregnant by.
is he still paying her as a prostitute or was this a free prostitute?
Um, no, I don't think they like after that they didn't deal with each other like that anymore because there was a baby involved.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Well, she could
she
get
tried
pregnant
to.
again. She get pregnant again. So,
Yeah, she got pregnant again. I'm trying to get to it.
oh, okay. I just meant that I know the pattern and how it works. So it's okay. Meanwhile,
I
what was
just
her
felt
boyfriend doing all this time? What was her boyfriend doing all this time?
well, they had broken up.
Oh, when she, well, was she a prostitute when they were together, or when they broke up, she became a prostitute?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
So who's taking care of these two children? Are you the one taking care of the two children?
I started off babysitting the baby. It was a little girl.
Okay.
Right 3 months, and once she saw how comfortable I was with the baby and the baby was with me, it's like one day she just disappeared for like a month,
Oh,
and then she popped
you mean your
in.
daughter, your brother, excuse me, your uncle's girlfriend disappeared.
Yep,
And so who was left with who had the babies? You did?
I did.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so
You are a wonderful person because I mean, you're related, your kinship, but still, it isn't your daughter and it's your mother's brother. Wow.
yeah, it's his ex girlfriend. That's how I
Yeah,
know her.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's still together.
Well, if the babies
Yeah.
are in your hand, did you try to do guardianship? Did you try to get legal custody of the two children?
Um, I kept the little girl so long that, and she was out on the street doing her thing, getting pregnant again. But this time when she was with the baby had cocaine in it. So CSB got involved. Then once they got involved with the second child, which was a little boy, they came looking for the child that I had.
Now,
So
when was the little boy born? Was it born after CPS was involved, or was it born before?
he right when he was born, that's when they got involved because he had drugs in the system. So the hospital,
Oh, was
called
that happen at the hospital where they took the boy?
exactly.
Okay. And what did you do with the little girl?
Um, I wanted to keep her. Um, I didn't want the second child because I really hadn't planned on keeping the first, but I had fell in love with her.
Right, I
So
understand
yeah,
that, but it's sad
that's like
because this is not the way they make babies or the way they have babies come into the world.
right. Yeah, it's terrible. It goes on and on and on. I'm telling you, it don't stop.
Yep,
This
yep.
girl. Yeah, but
She
yes,
probably
we got
didn't have any
involved.
scruples growing up. She probably just didn't know how to keep her legs closed.
No telling.
Hmm. Now I have one of my regulars come on. It's Cruel from Oxnard, California. She has her case in Ventura, California. Good evening, uh, Cruel. How are you? It's her real name is Felicia, and it's good to see you here. We have Shelly O from Toledo, Ohio, talking about her mother's um, her mother's brother, right?
Mother's brother's ex
Yeah, right.
girlfriend.
Her mother's brother's ex girlfriend, who this particular woman that's speaking tonight, Shelley, has raised the child since he was born, and she's gotten kind of close to him. But I don't know if she's got legal guardianship of him or not, or the girl. Do you have not legal guardianship?
No, that's
And
I was
then
trying to
CPS can
know.
step in and say, "Oh,
Think
goody,
about
goody! There's more money. We can make another $20,000 taking that child."
that. Go on, get, go on, bubble. Shoot my pooch away.
Right, that's
Yeah,
okay.
she just
Animals are
so
important too.
yeah, right. But to make a long story short, I had both kids. I had what was it? I was their caregiver.
Did
Just the
CPS
caregiver.
give you both
Both
kids
of them.
then? Did they give you both kids?
I ended up getting both kids. The mom, she never complied with the plan that they gave her or whatever.
Hmm.
She didn't show up to visits and stuff like that. And she didn't know who his father was. of the second child. So that's still up in the air. But the first child, she told them father's name. So they went and they found him, and he hurried up and, cleaned himself up or whatever, stopped doing the drugs, just go back and forth to court. He kind of messed around the first year when it came to the parenting plan that they put together for him. He didn't do what he was supposed to do first year. Um, Once he saw that they wasn't playing and I could really get custody of the first child, the little girl, which was just he started doing what he was supposed to do, going to the classes. He went and got an assessment or whatever. He had to lie about that because I know for sure it's definitely some mental illness there. It's definitely something wrong with this man. Then it's 63 one with a 3-year-old girl. The 3-year-old at the time, and all the court stuff ended. CSE told me, well, we're going to recommend that you get custody. We want you to stay together and blah, blah, blah. The guardian and she was fighting the kids together. But after 2 years of going to court, they just basically snatched her away from me and gave her to him. And I haven't seen her since.
Now, gave him out to who? Now I'm lost. Who's the child being given to?
That was in 2023.
No, who did the child? Who was the little girl given to?
Her father.
But you told me that was her prostitution baby.
Yeah, but she knew his name. The second child, she didn't know. She still doesn't know who the father is.
Well, why would the father, who is paying for this girl for prostitution, want the child?
That's what I'm wondering. It's crazy.
Well, they may be giving him money too.
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. They wouldn't put a visitation plan together for us. So I still have her brother, and they haven't seen each other since Halloween of 2023. And that's when we went to court and took her at court, and that was the last time I saw her. He won't let me talk to her on the phone. Won't let her see her brother. But the only thing they said as far as visitation was that me and him would have to work out a plan together on our own. Things like that. I tried to take him back to court. I couldn't afford an attorney. I'm not an attorney.
Well, you're not even involved in the case, to be honest with you. You're a remote person in the case. You're not next of kin. You're close to kin, but you're not next of kin.
Right. I understand that.
Good to see you. Wow. So, is there, now you said the story, is there some questions you want to know?
Yeah, I just want to know, is there any way I can take back to court? Because I figured out a way how to file motion for free. And I just want the kids to be able to see each other. I just want to be patient.
Well, your relationship is an auntie, right?
Well, not by blood, but sort of kind of in a way.
Well, that's right, because your mother's brother had a girlfriend who had the baby with guys that were paying her for prostitution.
Yeah.
It's a really messed up case. But anybody can adopt them. You can adopt that little girl, and you can adopt a boy.
The
You can
second
get
child.
you can get a guardianship, yes. And
Yeah, I
CPS
have legal.
usually likes to
I,
have them put together. They usually like to have them put together.
I, I have legal guardianship of the second child.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, I have him. Yeah.
Well, you can petition the court and get the guardianship of the first because you want to have the two children brought up together.
That's what I don't understand. And the judge said she was going to do what was in the best interest of the child. And what I don't understand is how are you?
Well, I would say that, see, they think the biological father wants the girl, but the problem being the biological father really wasn't a father. He just happened to pay the girl because she wanted the money and he wanted sex.
Yeah, and when I got on the witness stand and tried to explain that, his attorney objected, and the judge said she didn't want to hear any of that. She didn't want to hear anything about the past. And I'm like, this is crazy. Well,
Yeah.
Toledo is small.
Yeah, I'm
Toledo
sorry.
is small, and he's definitely gone back to doing drugs. I don't know who he has helping him, supporting him as far as uh, helping out with the child. But it just, I just don't understand how they could do something like that. I think they consider that to be what was in the best interest of that child.
Right.
Yeah. And I still had a baby brother, and he remembers his sister. It's been 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're a good mother to do that. Do you have any children of your own?
I have an 18, no, I'm sorry, I have a 19-year-old daughter. Um, she just left the nest a month ago.
Okay. You had good
Yeah.
relationships with your daughter?
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
Good. You're lucky.
Wonderful. She's amazing.
People like that.
Yeah, well, you're lucky because a lot of times in my case, my social worker was caught committing perjury and she retaliated against the parents and convinced our 12-year-old daughter, guess what? You don't have to be with your mom and dad. You can get a divorce. In California, age of divorce is 12, and so they can emancipate from the parents and her brothers and her sisters and everything. And then she told her, you can change your name. You can sue your birth certificate. You can get a new birth certificate, a new social security card, and then be adopted by a foster care. And this is all orchestrated and coached by her CASA and by either, that's the bad thing about ombudspersons and CASAs. They don't work for you. They're big ears for CPS. And they also coach children to hate their parents, to not, it's really sad what they do. They're supposed to have what's called a team meeting in the very beginning. They don't have a team meeting. That's where the parents come together and the children come together with a facilitator and then the social workers there, but it's a group team meeting and it's supposed to make plans for called reunification. I think that's the word that
Yeah, well, I think it's a little different here. I think they get kickback if they unify the parents with the kids because they want them to do all these free programs, and all these classes and programs, and
oh
I'm like,
yeah, it's a money racket. You usually have to pay for all those. Like one program, domestic violence or your drug rehab, is a 1-year course.
and that's another thing. This man has domestic violence all up and down his rap sheet.
Oh, he does? And that was never brought into
Yeah,
court? That was never brought into court?
no, they claim
Wow.
they ran a background on him. I don't believe it. There's no way. There is no way. It's just attorneys are so expensive. I cannot afford to get an attorney. I just heard you talking to somebody about an attorney before I called in. He said they wanted a $5,000 retainer.
Well, a good attorney, like in LA County here, I have Vincent W. Davis. He'll go to other states and so forth. But just the closest county that he works in, his minimum retainer is 5,000, and it's $500 an hour is his fee.
Wow.
But then I talked to a mother in Fort Worth, Texas, and it's still $500 an hour.
Mm.
And I think the fees range from 600 to 300.
I tried. I looked around. I tried to find the attorney, somebody that do it pro bono. Nothing. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm not giving up.
No, you shouldn't. There, it's really a hard thing you're going through. At least you have a little boy, and that is nice.
You're right.
But these children are very fortunate to have somebody even care about them because they're brought up, they're brought into the world. They weren't wanted children, but I'm glad they didn't do the abortion
Yeah.
because that is
That.
wrong. Abort for birthing, that's wrong. For what do you call it? Birth control. Abortion is not an answer for birth control.
Right. Yeah, but the mom of these children, she went on to have two more children after the second one.
Well, she's doing
And
prostitution, and so if she does so many tricks a day, she's going to get pregnant if she's not doing any birth control.
right, right. Yeah, and
Oh my
suffers from this
And they and they and they
well,
love the prostitution because it makes them good money.
quick money, fast money.
Well, yeah, it's not the money that I would not say that's a clean living
Oh, not at all.
because she has a
Not at
drug
all.
habit. She's forced with her drugs.
They come first. Yeah. But yeah, I just thought I'd call in and
Well, I'm glad you
share my
did. You're from Toledo, Ohio.
yeah.
I have relatives from Cleveland, Ohio, and I have relatives from Cincinnati, and so Toledo, those two places, isn't it?
Oh,
It's in
it's on top.
what's that northwest of like
Okay, is it near the University? University of Ohio, Ohio State, and University of Ohio. Where are they located?
In the middle of the state.
oh Columbus.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Toledo's above.
Anyway,
We got
I know that the cases are bad in Cleveland. There really is bad cases in Cleveland. I've had several people call into my show from Cleveland.
yeah, everywhere these days because people just abuse their power, they lie. Oh man, those people have me on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I could feel it. So much pain.
Yeah, they dog me out.
It hurts.
I said, well, no good deed don't get punished. Insane. Uh, well, thanks for listening. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah. Well, don't feel so discouraged. I appreciate you calling in and sharing your story with all my listeners out there. And hello, Crystal Sandoval. I'm glad you're checking in. Crystal says, please understand your constitutional rights and your amendments. Understand the reason why you should take value in those things. Study your rights. It will help you get out of the things. Study, understand your rights, and know the law, the rules, and the regulations and procedures of the court. You have to become your own lawyer as well as finding one. Study, there's no remedies out of it. Study, there is a remedy out of it. Now, Crystal Sandoval's from California, and she's a regular, and she comes in here and she had a horrible case. Remember, don't sign a contract. No contract signing the Fourth Amendment privacy stand. Those things know why you're America and why you're sovereignty citizen. It only takes basic common sense. But this is going to be a big, long, bumpy ride. You know your rights. You don't have any rights. They're going to kick me out off soon. Just wanted to say something kind of getting contact with the good news. Well, Crystal, please don't leave. And it's good that you came in. And it's so good that we have a wonderful mom like you that wants to take a child. And hello, JD. JD is from Los Angeles and has a case in LA. So, Shelly, I want to say God bless you. But if you want to call in, you're welcome to call me. I'm on twice a day.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Yes.
And I will be back.
Yeah, well, if you have questions or concerns, give me a holler. But I would bring up the fact that maybe the child needs to be with its brother, and that the father really, only relationship you have with a child, it was out of prostitution, and that's not a good father. And if he has a case of bad domestic violence, that's going to be shown.
Yeah. Thank you. You know what? Thank you so much. I need that reassurance.
Right.
I will return.
Never
I'll
give-
keep you
Okay.
updated.
Never give up.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'd say never give up.
Never,
All right.
Never,
God bless you.
Never surrender.
Yes. Good night.
Good night. Well, that was a sweet lady from Toledo, Ohio. And she shared a heartwarming story about two children that were born out of prostitution. And I guess the first father wants the child now. He first didn't want the child, but now he wants it. And so CPS is that stupid enough to give it to the father. The mother, this woman here, wanted the child because she's a good mother. She has the boy from another man, wants not to do it. And of course, the woman that had these two children is so strong on drugs, she doesn't want. She'll probably have more children down the road. She'll have more children down the road. And that is so sad because there's so many mothers out there that can't have children. She is so lucky that she can have a child because a lot of mothers can't. A lot of mothers can't. Anyway, my number's up there, 626-698-0990. I'd love to have you call in and tell me a story or ask me a question. Also, I have articles that I can talk about. I have my 5 rules that I've come up with, and I like to help you. I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father with 42 years of marriage experience, and I have a family, and 2 of my young family still live at home. And I love my family. I'll do anything for my family, my wife included. Anyway, I'm here to help you because you really need this help. It's a hard thing what you're going through. A very hard thing what you're going through. And I want to help you. I want to help you. So whether it's talking about the Indian Child Welfare Act or talking about a 388 motion or a 160 hearing or 180 hearing, or how to file for a continuance or how to file anything you want to talk about, I will gladly help you or help you answer the question. I hope you answer the question. My prayers go out to a special family in Santa Clarita, California, whose daughter had her appendix taken out, that was wrongly taken out. She's 5 now, and they found gallstones in her, and they're treating the gallstones. But the CPS says the parents didn't care. So they're trying to tell the parents they want to take away the 4-year-old. She's 5 now. But anyway, it's tough out there. It's tough out there. A hello to my lady, a friend in South Africa, Leica. You can call back in. I haven't heard from you in some time. Also, hello to a foster care mom, Betty Jo from Montana, who has been trying to fight her niece and having custody of her niece and so forth. Betty Jo is a true foster mom, and she does take care of her children quite well. She has a boy she's adopted who lost his parents in a car accident, and she tried to have the boys adopted with her kinship, but none of the family members were interested in the little boy. So the little boy fell in love with Betty Jo, and that's great. That's great. Heartwarming story. There's a lot of good things. There's also my friend in Brooklyn, New York, KK Richardson, that had terrible news where they now have charged her with neglect. And her family members have turned against her, and her daughters turned against her. So it's really, really hard out there. A lot of you have your stories. There's Margaret from California that is now being helped by Vincent Davis. He's the real deal. He's a real attorney. And he's got the criminal charges off her, and he's helping her take care of other things. There's my people from California City, California, Nisha, NYP, and they have a horrible case where they were accused of breaking their daughter's bones, 11 broken bones. But she had a disease called OGS, or I forgot the name of it. But anyway, it's commonly known as rickets. It's where your bones are so fragile, and during the birth, they probably were broken, and also the nurses that did the thing probably broke it. So I have amazing cases and everything there. Right now, it's 8 o'clock. And so that means my show time is over at 8 o'clock. And so anyway, it's 8. And Crystal from Houston, Texas. Oh, wait. Crystal, you're from Houston? I thought you were from California. Now I've got confused. In Houston, Texas, malicious prosecution and devastation to me, but there's a way, a remedy that I know the remedy. Well, I'm good to hear that, Crystal, and I want to help you. Welcome from Houston, Texas. I'm sorry for the last week or two I've been saying California. It's Houston, Texas. It's Houston, Texas. I got to remember that, Crystal Sandoval. Now, I'm going to be on again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. That's 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I'd love to have you all again attend my live stream. You can talk on it or be a guest. Also, I make phone calls from 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning and from 11 in the morning to 1 o'clock. And the calls I make are people that are interested in hiring Mr. Davis. So if you're interested in hiring Mr. Davis, you can call me during those times. And I will definitely try to help you. Okay, Crystal's in Harrison County in Houston, Texas. Okay, well, with that being said, I want you all, I'll pray for you tonight, but I want you all, do not give up fighting for your children. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a solution. I mean, I did 2 hours yesterday figuring out what I didn't know about gallstones, gallbladder, did not know about appendicitis or how they determine that and so forth. So anyway, 6 months still in. I swore myself silent, so we'll see. Okay, all right. Well, Crystal, I'm here to help for you. So God bless you all. Have a good night. At the end of when I check out, there'll be a brief message from my attorney, Vincent Davis. Listen carefully. It's a good message. It's a good message. So this is Bob Pace.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce him. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last